Good evening and welcome to Bag of Cans, episode 6. So, I have a question for you today. Brexit, Boaty McBoatface, Bag of Cans, what have they got in common? You ask. Well, I'll tell you what they've got in common. You put things to a public vote, you're liable to end up in the shit. And that is exactly what's happened with me this week, as I had several cans to decide to drink, to decide from. For this evening's drink, and I stupidly put in a dark Belgian quad from the terrific brewery in Sheffield, St. Mars of the Desert. And lo and behold, everyone voted for that. So yeah, an 8.8% monster to kick off a Friday evening. Isn't that a delightful thing? We have Pete Fowler in the house. Craig's in the house as well, and Ewan. Hello, fellas. How you doing? All right. Good to see you. So we've got at least 3 witnesses to what is liable to be a really quite pissed episode of Bag of Cans. I must correct myself. I did say this was St. Mars of the Desert. It is actually St. Mars of the Dessert. So there we go, a great start. I haven't even started drinking yet, but I will now. It's a nice little can, isn't it? It's nice design on that. I don't know if you see that. It's only half of one. The back is completely blank. It's like a single A-side 12-inch. Anyway, it's beginning to foam over the top, so I'll get it poured. A quad deserves to be poured into a very, very nice glass, and I've got a St. Bernardus glass here, so no pressure on St. Mars of the desserts. If you live up to that, terrific breweries quads, then you can't be doing too badly. Right. Oh, look at that. It does look rather good, doesn't it? Can you see that? Yes, you can. Excellent. Right. Immediately. I don't even have to put my nose to it. I can smell it from here. It is ridiculous. It smells exactly like you'd expect a quad to smell. And if you've not had a Belgian quad before, then go out and do it immediately. But also, you get a sort of, it's really very boozy. Although sometimes it can be sort of quite sort of acetone smelling. But this isn't. This is quite fruity. It's quite, it's like inhaling in a massive Christmas pudding, to be honest. And I suspect it's probably exactly what it's going to be like drinking it as well. Colour-wise, it's on the so some quads are quite dark. I mean, really dark. I mean, black as pitch. This isn't. This is quite. I don't think you can really pick that up on the camera, but it's got a little bit of a browny, reddy hue about it. It's head retention is pretty good. Usually with Belgian quads, you do have a lot of carbonation, and I have that here. But I should cut the crap and just drink it, shouldn't I, really? I'll tell you what, they've absolutely nailed that. That is delicious. It's almost so really famous ones are examples of quads are sort of Westvletter and 12 and Westmalle 10, I think, or 12. I can't remember what it is now. So famous, I can't remember. Yeah, and this is tasting a little bit like a cross between them, which is high praise indeed. I've got to say it's really good. I've also brewed a homebrew quad as well, which 58 bottles of which I have under my bed currently. I think I'm going to test one out tonight because I bottled it just before Christmas, and it should be just about ready to drink now. So I'll give that a whirl afterwards. But this is fantastic. I mean, to give you some idea of the flavour, there's almost a sort of a hint of sponge fingers. You know, the sponge fingers that you break up and put in the bottom of a trifle. You get a hint of that. And I don't know where that comes from. I think it possibly comes from the amount of sugar that's used in the process, but I don't know. I am guessing there. And then you've got this massive amount of boozy dark fruit, and that doesn't really let up. It's not hoppy by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, I'm sure they put some hops in to kind of balance out the sweetness. It's quite gassy, as you can tell. But you're not really getting a great deal of hop character about it at all, and neither should you. It's not part of the style. But yeah, it's gonna be absolutely hilarious later on tonight. I am meant to be having a Zoom chat with some of the guys over a couple of beers, and that should be entertaining, I would have thought. We've got another 5 minutes left before Pete kicks off his Spotify playlist. Number 42, I believe. Incredibly dedicated, and each one every week different, but each one absolutely fantastic. Always different, always the same, as they used to say about the fall. I've got to say, this is very, very good indeed. St. Mars of the Dessert, quadruple, 8.8%. Obviously, there's nothing on sleeve notes to tell you anything else other than they're from Sheffield, and it contains barley, suitable for vegans as well. Although, quite frankly, once you've drunk this, I can't imagine you care about being a vegan anymore. It's absolutely incredible. I would seek it out. It's well worth your time. I'm gonna use that as a cue to try more of this brewery, because they've clearly got their chops sorted for Belgian quads, which is not an easy style to nail. So yeah, I'll seek out some more of theirs. And what I'll also do is never ever again put a Belgian quad in a poll of beers that I should be drinking on a Friday late afternoon, because clearly people are going to go for the strong one. And like an idiot, I put it in there. I could have not done. I could have just put a few sort of 4.5-5% beers in there, and thought nothing of it. But I sneaked it in there, and I just thought, people won't have heard of it. They'll vote for something else. No. So yeah, in future, no more referenda on what beers I'm going to drink. I'm going to choose myself, which is, quite frankly, it's a lesson, isn't it? I should choose myself anyway. I'm going to wrap it up now, because I'm going to be starting burping again, and I'm going to finish this off. It's terrific, and I expect to have got really drunk by 8 o'clock. Wonderful. I'm glad I'm not doing anything tomorrow. I'm already beginning to slur, so I am going to cut it off there. St. Mars of the Dessert, quadruple. I think they've called it. I'm tempted to say they've called it Attercliffe, but that might be the area of Sheffield they're from. So, who knows? But yeah, seek it out. It's really good. And if you see the other stuff, then I'd recommend giving that a whirl as well. I'm certainly going to do that. In the meantime, cheers. Thanks for joining me. Tune in again at 10 to 5, 10 to 5, 10 to 6. You can tune in at 10 to 5 if you'd like. I won't be here. 10 to 6 next Friday for another episode of Bag of Cans. Cheers. Look after yourself.